What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, and today we're going to be talking about a Danger Room blog that Scopely dropped a couple days ago, and I realized I didn't talk about it, and I didn't see anybody else talk about it either, and it was pretty interesting because it addressed a concern that I saw on Reddit regarding a node that has some night crawlers and stuff like that, people thinking that preloaded turn meter was a thing, and that is answered here. We will talk about all of this. We're also going to be talking about an event in-game that is just wrong, and it's just also crappy. So we'll talk about that as well. So first up, did the scoring method change mid-event? No, the scoring method did not change during the event. The way it works is that if you have successfully completed an elite mission and finished the run, it will add the points from your run to the total score. So yeah, that had been happening, and the scores were essentially like cumulative. The runs were cumulative, which is why people have 48 million score, because obviously that's not from a single run. No kidding, right? Didn't really need to say that, but yeah, that's not from a single run, obviously. So the scoring in the future is going to be a little bit different. So for future instances of Danger Room, it's going to be the highest run score. So it's going to be kind of like Scourge, where it's going to be the highest run score, whether or not you completed an elite mission. It would be the only score that counts for your total points. And I think that's how Scopely intended it to be originally, because the milestones here were completed at 100,000 points. And I think my best score has been roughly around 105,000 points. Let me know what your best run score is down in the description. I'm curious, not in the description, in the comment section. I'm curious what your highest run score is. But I think that was the intended goal, was the highest run score. Single run was going to be the way you get points, not this cumulative 48 million. And I'm okay with that. I think that's how it should be. I think that was great. And honestly, I think the milestones were pretty generous as well. 12 orbs of gear tier 20, 3 diamonds, which I don't think the diamonds are really that great, honestly. But there's a good amount of intel, gold, some training mats. There was a lot of good stuff in this. So honestly, kudos to you, Scopely. I think these rewards were worth it, because I know that was a big question regarding Danger Zone. So scoring will definitely be changed in the future. Does Danger Room have preloaded turn meter? And again, we talked about this in a video that I had about a week ago. And the answer is no. There are no missions that have preloaded turn meter, which is something that I talked about. All the missions contain standard characters and their kits, which I think, first of all, the fact that they're actually announcing this publicly is awesome. I think this is the kind of communication we deserve as a community, and that we should be getting a lot more frequently when it comes to things like this. And I wish we got regarding the Odin leaderboard. We got some communication, but we didn't get like a blog level of communication. And there was a "trust me, bro" BS thrown in there I didn't like. Rental tokens. I do like the idea behind rental tokens. I think this is great. I think this is so much fun. But it is changing, right? So for this run of Danger Room, the rental tokens will reset with every run. However, in future runs, this will change to be 5 rental tokens per day. I don't like this, because this means that people will not have the ability to use rental tokens for every single run. And then if you're a newer player, this is essentially limiting the amount of runs you can do every single day, because if you're relying on all 5 rental tokens for every single run, you're limiting the amount that a person can play the game. And I don't think that is great, because they don't have the characters. So I think that's kind of dumb. I don't think that's the way it should be. I think that's actually a little narrow-minded, if you ask me. I think rental tokens should be there indefinitely so people can continue playing the game. But maybe if you use rental tokens, your points total that you can get for like the milestones goes down, so you get like penalized for using rental tokens. I think that would be a better way, so people can still play the game, use the new characters, and have fun as much as they want. But maybe they can't get the milestones based off of that. I think that would be a lot better than having this. And I'm actually going to give that feedback directly to the developers, because I think that is a lot better than just having this issue of just not being able to play the mode at all or try the new characters out. How often do you plan to run the Danger Room? We're currently planning to run the Danger Room about once a month, but this may evolve depending on player feedback and how it fits in the overall event schedule. I think once a month is perfect because we're going to be able to test the new team every single month as the characters are coming out. So I'm super excited for the next Danger Room to come out next month, and we're going to be able to use Accursed in there and hopefully have some new one-off characters, because right now we have Star-Lord and Cyclops. And that's going to talk about this here. Will include the same characters? No, each run of the Danger Room will feature new teams as well as some standalone characters who fit in with the theme of Danger Room. We might also have special runs of Danger Room happening on occasion that will feature something more specialized, which I'm super hyped about that. That sounds great. Now, when it comes to the standalone characters, I do have an issue regarding the standalone characters. So, first off, I think the idea behind it is awesome. Giving specific bonuses to characters regarding just characters we don't use anymore, right? Like we have here, Star-Lord games, the Starjammer trait gets an extra 500% focus, resistance, damage, and armor. That's awesome. I think that's great. Make Star-Lord great again, right? Have fun with him. I think that's awesome. Same thing with Cyclops getting the Starjammer trait. I think that's great as well. And I think there's one for Iron Patriot here as well. But the big issue I have is when it comes to Cyclops and Star-Lord. So if we're on difficulty 10 here and we start a run and then we go into the shop here and we want to use Star-Lord or Cyclops, I can use my own, right? But I'm not going to use a 500,000 power Cyclops that's only 1 diamond, right? And has old stats. And I know the stats get bumped by the boon, by the modifier in the beginning from the elite tokens, which is great. I think that's good, right? But the problem is, Star-Lord, if I use my own, he's at 68,000 power, 6 red, right? I didn't build him, and I'm not going to build him just for Danger Room. But the issue is, even when we go down here and look at the characters that we have available via rental tokens, the Cyclops is roughly around the same power, which I don't think the Cyclops should be anything under 3 diamonds, honestly. I think it should be a 3-diamond rental character because we need to, be able to actually use the character, and those antiquated stats are very, very bad on Cyclops. And then again, on Star-Lord, 6 red, like, that doesn't incentivize me to use my rental token on him or try to use a build with them. So I think the rental option here should be way higher. And if we're going to be using the rental thing where the rental tokens are only used once per day, you're telling me I can only do like a specialized build twice a day on this? And I don't think that's really smart. I think we should be able to freely theory craft, and I think you should just get a penalty towards the milestone points that you can get so that your run score is substantially lower. And you can't get the highest milestones because you don't have a high enough account, or you need to actually push for that. So I think that is an area of improvement. And then lastly, will more mission nodes be added to the Danger Room? And it is yes, as this is our first run, we have a more limited pool of potential missions for players to encounter. We will add more possible missions over time. And I think that is the best part about Danger Room, is that it is evergreen and it is always growing and becoming more and more complex, which is great. And then the other part of it, which is going to be... Let's see. Where was it? It was talking about like special events, right? And special characters being used. There it is. Happening on occasion that will feature something more specialized. I'm super excited for them to do like some specialized one where it's like, cool, all you get are mythics and the nodes are ridiculous. Figure it out. Like, that'd be so fun. Just be like, cool, you get the best 5 mythics, you get whatever mythics you want to use, go. We're going to make these nodes 30 characters long, and they're going to be ridiculous. And I think that'd be so much fun, just as like a super fun way to engage the community, figure out new puzzles and new ways to play the game. And I think that would be absolutely awesome. Now let's talk about an event that was in the blog and is currently running right now, and that is gonna be the Cosmic War event. And there's multiple issues I have with this event. One thing I will say about the blog, and I'm curious your guys' opinion on this, but I do like that the blog tells me the rewards I'm going to be getting from certain events. Like this one says the 25 shards in for Songbird. I think that's awesome. I also really like that if they're going to continue doing rewards and premium rewards, that they tell me, hey, this is a premium objective. These are premium rewards. So I don't have that false sense of security that I'm actually going to be able to unlock something when they know I'm not. I do like that transparency. I think that should continue. So let's go in game here and talk about Cosmic War. So right now, Cosmic War milestone, gain progress in this event by battling in war with Vigilante at 5, 6, 7 stars. We're battling in Cosmic Crucible with the Liberty team at 5, 6, or 7 stars. Do you see the issue with this? It's flipped. It's Vigilante in Crucible and Liberty in War. And if we go to the scoring system here, you see it's Vigilante in Crucible, right? And then Liberty in War. So that's the first issue I have with this. The next issue I have with this is why in the hell are you forcing me to use Vigilante in Crucible when they're not a Crucible team? And you're tying it to an alliance event that makes people feel bad for not using a subpar team in Cosmic Crucible. Now, are they very good in Room 1 right now because of the vulnerables? Absolutely. But you're telling me that if they don't fit anywhere on my plan of attack or plan for defense, that I'm going to be screwing over my alliance? Absolutely not. That's BS. That's not okay. And the rewards are pretty good. Like we're getting Songbird shards. We're also getting some Gear 20 towards the end here. We're also getting Thunderbolt Diamond Orb fragments as well. So, which I'm sure I can't get. We won't be able to get there free to play. So maybe let's go up here. We're not getting Gear Tier 20, but maybe we'll get some Diamond Orb, Thunderbolt Diamond Orb fragments, right? But like, why are you forcing us to play the game in a suboptimal way when you could have just, instead of making this Vigilante, you could have made this Starjammers? Because guess what? Starjammers are still not farmable. So you could still put the same Stargate on this and still get the same effect. But at least we'd be able to use a Crucible team, right? Cool, but no, instead you're forcing us to use a raid team in a Crucible mode where it's the only competitive mode right now, and I don't really consider War that competitive because that's an alliance-based, and you have to rely on 23 other people, but Crucible is made to be the one place where only your roster matters. I hate when there's alliance-based modes, alliance-based milestones in Crucible because it just changes the way I play Crucible, and I don't like that. I don't like to be told how to play Crucible, which is the big issue of when we were required to put Starjammers on offense, and I really hated that. So take that with a grain of salt. I have had big issues with that. I'm not a big fan of that at all, that you're telling me what I'm using on defense and what I'm using on offense. And I really do think that needs to stop because that is a big issue that I have with it. So other than the wording just being wrong, I think it's dumb that they're requiring us to use suboptimal teams in a mode that I enjoy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. And let me know what you think about Danger Room and how they can improve on it. I'll send some of that feedback to the developers because I'm genuinely curious what you guys think as well. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.